It's Sunday night, and that all too familiar sense of dread starts creeping in. The weekend's over, and just the thought of work tomorrow fills you with anxiety. What if I told you that these Sunday Scaries aren't just a passing mood, but a powerful clue from your brain that something's off with your job? Your brain often knows it's time for a change long before you consciously admit it. In this video, we're breaking down 3 of these brain signals and the science that suggests you really shouldn't ignore them.
Think of your brain as a prediction machine. It's constantly scanning the world around you to keep you safe and guide you toward rewarding experiences. So when a job is a bad fit, it doesn't just feel bad. Your brain starts sending up some serious warning signs. These aren't just a case of the Mondays. They are consistent, nagging patterns rooted in your brain's basic wiring. We're going to explore 3 of the big ones: that feeling of chronic dread, a total loss of motivation, and feeling completely mentally drained. By understanding the science behind these feelings, you can stop second-guessing yourself and start making choices that lead to a career that actually feels good.
The first, and maybe the most common signal, is that Sunday night dread. It might start as a knot in your stomach or just a wave of restlessness, but this is a textbook example of what psychologists call anticipatory anxiety. In simple terms, your brain is treating Monday morning like a legitimate threat. So what's the neuroscience here? When you're repeatedly in a stressful environment, your brain learns to see it coming. This can put your brain's alarm system, the amygdala, on high alert, triggering the release of stress hormones like cortisol before the work week even starts. When workplace stress becomes a chronic issue, this system can become dysregulated, meaning it's more reactive and takes longer to calm down. This heightened fight or flight readiness isn't just in your head. It's linked to real physical symptoms like headaches, stomach trouble, and terrible sleep. Now, you may have heard that prolonged exposure to cortisol can impact the brain. Research, mainly from animal studies and studies on severe chronic stress in humans, has shown an association between high cortisol levels and changes in brain regions responsible for decision-making and emotional regulation, like the prefrontal cortex. It's not that a few bad weeks at work will literally shrink your brain, but the evidence does suggest that chronic, intense stress is a serious biological issue. So if you spend your Sundays dreading Monday, that's not a weakness. It's a survival instinct. Your brain is sending a clear message. This environment feels psychologically costly, and it's gearing up for a battle.
The second signal is when you just don't care anymore. The projects that used to excite you now feel pointless, and even hitting a big target doesn't give you that little fist pump of satisfaction. This isn't laziness. It could be a sign that your brain's reward system has gone a bit haywire. This system is heavily influenced by a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Dopamine is often nicknamed the motivation molecule because it's released not just when you get a reward, but in anticipation of one. It's the chemical kick that drives you to tackle challenges and work toward a goal. Some research has even suggested a link between dopamine signaling and what you might call a go-getter personality. But when a job lacks clear feedback, chances to grow, or a sense of purpose, your brain's reward prediction can get thrown off. Why put in the effort if your brain isn't expecting a payoff? When this happens, the dopamine hits may not come as easily or feel as satisfying, and things that used to be interesting now feel flat. This experience shares features with a clinical concept known as anhedonia, the loss of pleasure. While clinical anhedonia is a serious symptom, often tied to depression, this work-specific version is your brain's way of telling you that the effort you're putting in just isn't worth the expected return anymore. When that spark is gone and shows no sign of coming back, it's a powerful sign that your job no longer aligns with what your brain finds rewarding.
If any of these signals are starting to sound a little too familiar and you're getting some value out of this breakdown, do me a quick favor and hit that like button and subscribe. It really does help get this information out to more people, and it ensures you won't miss our future videos on how to build a career that truly works for you.
The third signal is feeling mentally exhausted, even on days when you weren't particularly busy.
It's when you find yourself constantly daydreaming about quitting, scrolling endlessly on your phone, or just mentally checking out during meetings. This is more than just being tired. It's a symptom of cognitive burnout. Your brain's working memory, which is largely handled by the prefrontal cortex, can only juggle so much at once. When your job is a poor fit, maybe because it's disorganized, toxic, or just deeply unfulfilling, it creates a ton of extra mental static. To borrow a concept from instructional design, you could call this extraneous cognitive load. It's all the mental energy you waste just trying to cope, navigating office politics, forcing yourself to do tasks that feel meaningless, or dealing with constant interruptions. This state of chronic mental clutter is exhausting. It can impair your ability to focus, make sharp decisions, and keep your emotions in check. So what does your brain do? It looks for an escape hatch. That's where the daydreams come in. Fantasizing about a different career or just quitting altogether isn't just wishful thinking. It's a coping mechanism. Your brain is actively trying to find a better, more sustainable alternative. It's a clear indicator that your current role is burning through your mental resources faster than you can replenish them.
All right, let's recap the 3 big signals. First, the Sunday Scaries, which can be a sign of your brain's threat response stuck in a loop. Second, the loss of motivation, which suggests your brain's reward circuit is feeling out of tune. And third, mental exhaustion, which is a sign your brain is drowning in cognitive overload. These aren't just feelings you should try to push through. They are critical data points from the most sophisticated organ in your body. It may be that your brain is trying to tell you that your current environment is too stressful, unrewarding, or just too mentally expensive. Paying attention to these signals isn't about giving up, it's about taking your own well-being seriously. It's the first step toward finding a job that doesn't just pay the bills, but one that actually energizes and fulfills you. Your brain is trying to tell you something. Maybe it's time to listen.